Welcome to the Streaming Review. For this series of videos, I'm going to give a rundown of how my year in streaming went and some other tidbits of relevant-ish information. I thought to myself one day in 2017 that I'd like to see what progress I've made as a streamer and began tracking various pieces of statistics. I'm showing this in video format because it could be illuminating to my audience, but also because this feeds into the very nature of why I stream. Whether I succeed or fail, to be able to see my growth and accolades will be greatly enjoyable to watch as the years go by. So this is the Streaming Review 2017, my first year of streaming and how I did. Since I technically started streaming November 2016, I've included what information I had in this video for completeness sake. Enjoy! Since this is the first entry, I'll chuck in some backstory on how I started. Prior to darting out into the wilderness on the streaming thing, I did research. Any good investment and endeavor needs it after all. In that research, I was looking for what I needed, what to do, what to avoid, and how to do it. Sadly, a lot of the information out there was extremely trite. I don't know what it is about giving advice about how to stream, but for whatever reason, none of the advice was helpful to anyone who had at least a bit of common sense. Keep talking, chat with your community, be active on social media, be unique, network. Ooh, don't even get me started on networking. But suffice it to say, it felt like the streaming community had the mentality of killing off the people who tried so that they don't do what they themselves have desperately tried to claim. It was clear to me that after reading all the advice the world had to offer, there was only a few standout pieces of information I could use. First, stream how you want and stick to it. I'm a big fan of playing RPGs and I don't really enjoy shooters. If I got success playing shooters as poorly as I do, would that be as fun as being successful playing RPGs? Absolutely not. So, I play games I like to play and will continue to do so because that is what generates fun for me. The last piece of information I got was to not stream with the goal of being successful. A strange piece of advice, I know. Why would anyone start something and try not to be the best? Seems like defeatist advice. I had to think deeper though. How many small streamers or YouTube channels do you watch? How long have they been small since you started watching them? Are they even still active? The weird conundrum here is that if you go on this journey seeking glory, you will never obtain it. From what I've seen, this is because expectations are never met and eventually it stops being fun and worth the time. With those two pieces of advice, I had the start I needed. I would stream what I wanted to, and I would do so not to achieve success, but because I wanted to relive my nostalgia of playing games. If you made it this far into the video, then you've reached the part where I tell you I've selfishly made this channel so I can watch myself play games I've already played. I think that makes me a narcissist. So now that you know where I'm coming from, perhaps even sympathized a bit, it'll soften the blow that I've spent $575.54 on equipment to create or improve the quality of my stream. That equipment included an external capture card, microphone, webcam, pop filter, headset, and 2 mic stands. The first stand was awful, so I bought a different one. And before you flip the table, let me say that the absolute bare minimum that a streamer should have is a headset. However, with the research and look I wanted, I felt this was the best way to build a personality and play the games I wanted. With the equipment in hand, next was the schedule. I would stream Monday through Friday for 1.5 hours with weekends optional. I had a lot of time on my hands in the afternoon when starting out, so I streamed a lot more than 30 hours a month. In fact, in September, I clocked in 161 hours. The vast majority of that was me playing Divinity Original Sin 2, which took 126 hours to complete. On one day, I even streamed 16 hours straight playing the game. Those are some things for my record books. Depending on who you ask, the follower graph either looks extremely grim or not great. However, when you put into perspective that a viewer has to first locate the game category I'm playing, then locate my stream, and finally enjoy the content they're watching enough to warrant following, I think I did pretty good for myself. Mostly. RPGs aren't too popular in the wilderness of streaming, so it's important to take the wins where they can be had. Just like the people in September for the Xenoblade Chronicles finale where I got 10 followers that night alone. That was a crazy night. So thanks to all the people who have followed and the people who still watch. And finally, just to address the spikes in December, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 happened. I finished Persona 5 as well, but Xenoblade happened. That game was surprisingly popular. More on that soon. So that's my Twitch 2017. It was my first year trying to find out how I wanted to do things, and that asked for a lot of experimentation on my part. For better or for worse, it led me down a path I can be happy with. When looking at all this information, it brings it into perspective why so many people quit. It can be time-consuming and soul-draining. It would be hard to blame anyone for waving the white flag when you think that after a whole year, all that was gained was 50 followers and 1,206 channel views off of 1,028 hours streamed and 27 games played. Fortunately for me, I'm getting exactly what I need out of this whole endeavor. Fun and nostalgia. Of the narcissistic variety, I suppose. And now I leave you with my top 5 most popular Twitch clips of 2017.
It's you. It's really, really you. How did you get here? This all feels like a dream. Please don't tell me it is. I don't think my heart could handle the disappointment.
Oh! That was amazing! That was amazing! Oh! 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 Oh my gosh, we clipping that one. We clipping that one. We did it. We did it. Ooh, that was savage. That was savage. I'm clipping that. There's not much backstory to speak of on the YouTube end for me. Suffice it to say, I lost my playthroughs of Watch Dogs 2, Final Fantasy 15, Undertale, and Tales of Symphonia: Dawn of the New World, and I was sad, especially for Final Fantasy 15. But we move on. Specifically, you've moved on. I'm still salty. At this point, you're very aware of this huge spike in December and possibly curious what had happened. Well, let me know when you find something out. December was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and for a reason I have yet to figure out, YouTubers from all over found their way to my channel. Where all of you came from, I'm still confused about. But hi, thanks for watching. Now, I admit not everything revolving around Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was accidental. Coincidentally, I placed myself in a position to release the series starting the day after I played it, and did just that. By the morning of day 2, I had 4 views. Crazy, I know. Normally I got 0, but this time I got so much more. I was originally going to say 4 times as many, but I'm smarter than that. With 4 views in the bank, it was time to be clever. My videos ran for 1.5 hours or longer for the most part. Most YouTubers out there release 1 video a day or 1 video a week. I needed to outdo not only them, but myself. So on the morning of day 2, I released 8 more episodes, giving me a grand total of 15 hours of gameplay. I played dirty and it felt so good. For December alone, the entire series had acquired 4,113 views across all 32 episodes. The most popular episodes were episode 1 at 470 views, and episode 31, the finale, at 412 views. The playlist for the series acquired 1,635 views. This may come as no surprise, but Xenoblade Chronicles 2 broke all of my YouTube records. I don't even know what the records are because they're broken. Prior to December, life was just moving forward as I would have expected. And yet, for some reason, against all odds, I tasted some success. It won't last, I'm sure of that, but I ended the year gaining 24 new subscribers, 7,816 video views, 448 videos published, and a good feeling. Thank you to everyone who has watched, continues to do so, or just stopped by. As things are winding down, here's some last-minute inclusions. 2017 is essentially year one, so there's nowhere else to go but up, and I did some things that surprised me. I released Games of the Year 2017, my first custom video recounting games I enjoyed above all else in the year. I guest starred on a Dungeons & Dragons podcast called Off the Table, where we discussed role-playing from the perspective of a dungeon master. And lastly, I started a video series titled Learning to DM, The Making of Mordram, where I recount my own experiences being a dungeon master from my very first campaign. These personal milestones help spark new ideas and goals for my future. I have an aching desire to do a tabletop map making stream, gaming discussion videos, and perhaps other videos to help diversify the library I'm building. None of these would ever be at the expense of me playing my beloved RPGs, of course. So, with 2017 at close, there's not much else to say other than I'm grateful and appreciative of those who have given me the precious few seconds of their time. Even though I started doing this for myself, I've also realized that there were things I could do to improve the viewing quality without disrupting any of my nostalgia. Every view, comment, follower, subscription, upvote, downvote, and lurk are important to me. Whether you're laughing at my pain or with me, thanks for joining the experience. 2018, here we come. Thanks for watching, appreciate it. See you on the next video. How many taco foo? After my 6th or so rewrite of this intro and considering how to do the 7th, I came to a conclusion I found to be an eye-opener. When discussing analytics, and I don't really want to use this label so we'll put quotations around it, content creators, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out and I wrapped up my goals for 2018, aside from the obvious stuff like building a big... I'm sure 2018 will be a good one. Spoiler, it is because I'm writing this in 2018. But I've said that. Am I supposed to have some sort of continuity that way I don't break the time paradox? Oh my goodness, what if I started some timey-wimey nonsense? Wait, what if I broke the time continuum by using the 2018 stream overlay instead of something from 2017? Does this make me a fraud? Am I going to jail? Are aliens real? Am I going to be on History's Mysteries? That would be pretty cool, actually. I hope they get a good picture of me. Welcome to the stream and review. I'm gonna have a variety of discussion topics that I'll get into, but for the most part, it'll be over here, or over here, or over here, or down there. I don't know. I'm doing this one off the dome, so bear with me on that. I stream because I want. So what does the data say? Well, I have my data over here, and well, and then YouTube video might be over here. Goals are potentially a very destructive thing because you want to set these goals and you want to meet these goals, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like, for example, I want to do my Cardinal Sin videos, and I was supposed to do those last month, and I haven't done them yet. And I doubt they're going to come out before this video. So, you know, these things happen. I don't know. Probably just cut that out. The first game that I streamed was actually Trails of Cold Steel 2, and it was the very final dungeon. And when I say final dungeon, I mean the final dungeon, not the final dungeon, but the final dungeon. If you played the game, you know what I'm talking about, okay?